Hello everybody. I had a small problem setting up the stream this morning and I forgot to turn the shaders off. So we're stuck with shaders and no time-lapse camera and I don't want to restart it. So we'll try this. I might turn the shaders off just to improve the quality. The lighting looks a bit weird, funny. Paler than usual. So let me have a look here at need to figure out what I'm doing here. Oh, I wanted to get rid of this, didn't I? Yes. So I'm just going to hide the unnecessary part of the screen here. Let's get rid of that. Transition. There we go. Okay, and now I can turn this off, and we can turn that off, and we can get started. Hello, everybody. So here we are running with the shaders mod, and this is going to really take the beating on my PC. Do let me know if we have a low frame rate. I'll try and run with it, and we'll see how we go. It doesn't seem like the frame rate is too low, but who knows? Who can say? So here is what we're up to so far. So we're building a big valley, and specifically at the moment we're building the lake in the bottom of the valley. I know this is not going to be very visible, but probably at some point the water update is going to come in, and this is going to be very visible. And so I need to make sure that what we've got is going to look okay, just for the sake, just for my own sake, really. So we can see we're getting a lot of these kind of I don't know exactly how to describe it. Mars steps, maybe. I don't know why. So we're getting these kind of very pyramid kind of structures everywhere because of the tools we've used so far. It was the melt brush specifically, I think. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little go with a different melt brush, a smaller melt brush, and we're just going to run all the way around and just try and break this up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. So brush, erode, melt, and make it smaller. You know what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to set down the render distance, because otherwise I'm just going to eat my machine up here. Yes. So I started on a big, huge area. The old area is just over there, but I transplanted the new area into I transplanted the old area into a sea world, and now it was over this way. Let's see. Yes. So here's where the old world was. You can see it just here. It still is going to be part of this world, so we're just coming down the slope here and starting out on this gigantic construction here. As I say, is a lake bed. So I'm going to start from the base, I think, and then we'll work our way kind of up. Okay. Is it going to be faster? Is it going to be any faster than that? Yeah, okay. A little bit faster. Alrighty, so what I'm just going to do is I want it to be even smaller than this, actually. I just want to kind of whack around the place and see anything that looks kind of weird and just kind of melt it away a little. And I know it was the melt brush that got me into this kind of fiasco in the well, I say fiasco, into this situation in the first place. But that was a very large melt brush, where here we can target only specific areas, so this is a bit more manageable. Kind of weird how it flashes. I'm not sure if I like that or not. It flashes with the shader mod when it arrives. That can go, I think. We'll get rid of that. And we'll come through here. That improves the lighting at all. Let me just check. Actually, it probably did. I'm just going to leave it. Just assume it improved the lighting a bit. Alright. so what I'm going to do actually is melt this out a little bit as well. I would kind of like to drag out just the base layer if I could. So maybe what we'll get here is a brush cylinder, stone 3, depth 2, so that we can just kind of expand a little bit here. Actually, we don't need a depth 2, we can just leave it as that, and we can... So I just want to kind of peel these layers away from each other, and that ought to help a little bit. So, oh gosh, this is going to take a long time actually. Such a big area. Well, this is the dedication pays off. We'll leave this area as it is for now, and we'll bulk out here a little. Gosh, what was that? Ow, I hurt my nose. These areas look okay. A bit steeper, but kind of fine. Add a little, whoops. Okay, well, it's fine. We'll bulk out there. Yes. Cool, cool. And let's, I suppose, just keep going around. We should probably have started at the very base. It's kind of dumb that we didn't, so let's do that now. Just running through the base a little bit, and again breaking up that weird step that we've got going on. It's like two step here because of the size of the spheres I used to make this. So just going to try and break that up a little, and then maybe we can come back with the melt brushes, and with the melt brushes we can create it a little bit more natural. I'm unfortunate not to have the time-lapse camera in here actually. Thanks, Jaden Smith. Come through here. Hi, Ace. So the story with the shaders is that I was doing the rendering, and this morning I forgot to swap back over. The problem with the using the shaders is that it means I can't have the time-lapse camera because of some esoterics of the streaming setups. For whatever reason, I can't have. If I run Minecraft on the graphics card, then I can't also capture. I can't capture from a graphics card and the integrated graphics as well. So that means I can't capture from the graphics card and VLC is where I'm getting my time-lapse camera from. So we kind of had a choice. So the story for transferring the map, there used to be a tool, or there still is a tool. It's called MC Edit, and this is a tool like it's like a Minecraft editor, so you can like load up maps in it, and you can do some kind of world edit type stuff on it. And what I wanted to do was use that to copy and paste it, but it turned out that world edit is broken. I'm not sure how long it's been broken for, but it doesn't seem like it's been updated since like 2016. So world edit, it seems to be dead. So I had to do the most hacky thing ever, which was use MC Edit to copy and paste the entire world. This was right on the edge of what I could do as well. I almost ran out of memory to do it. Copy the entire world into the end. Well, not the entire world, but the whole section I was interested in, into the end. Then I loaded in, I changed the map, the overworld map, from the one that I was using to a super flat water map. And then I copied it back. So it was very roundabout and total waste of time really, but it worked. And it's a real shame that if we lose MC Edit, I'm a bit concerned about the Minecraft community really. I think I mean we've kind of known it was shrinking, but I think it's still popular amongst the young'uns, but the older people, the people who were maintaining the mods, seem to have kind of lost interest a bit. So we're losing. I mean, to lose MC Edit is kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big mod that, well, it's not really a mod, but a big tool. Certainly back in the old days, it was extremely useful, and to not have that anymore is big blow, I would say, to Minecraft as a creative platform. Alright, so what I'm going to take now is an air cylinder of 2, and I'm going to just kind of run over this base layer again. Just add some more spaciousness here, because this layer is gigantic, really. Yeah, no, I feel like that's true. So it took my server, it took about a minute to copy. I think it was about 90 seconds to copy the world out, and about 90 seconds to paste it back in. But that was the easy part. First of all, figuring it out was annoying. I spent a few hours at the weekend trying to figure it out. But yeah, no, I agree, Ace. Certainly with what they did with the way they took Minecraft, I think it turned off a lot of the slightly older people, and it's more and more in the survival aspect, kind of a kids game, really, which is fine. But when it first started out, I mean, Redstone was extremely promising. It looked like they were going to do something really cool with that, but they kind of abandoned it a bit, which is a shame. And I think as a creative tool, it's still great. It's still fun. It's so accessible, and it's just fun and easy. It's basically kind of a specific form of sculpture, I suppose. I don't know if it is sculpture. It's not quite like sculpture, because it's also kind of like the voxel art, which is, I suppose, a separate domain on its own. Yeah, I don't know about the aquatic update. Maybe it is. I haven't received any updates at the moment, so I don't know about it personally. But I should expect it's coming along fairly shortly, in which case this whole area is going to be, when it's flooded, it should be nice and visible, which means it's not a complete waste of time me working on this whole area. And let's just get rid of some of these floaty boys. There we go. Okay, so I think we resolved the base a little bit, so we don't have such an awkward looking double step kind of thing going on. So let's now take the next level around. This, for the foreseeable future, this is going to be a lot of terraforming, I think. Yeah, I guess we'll probably see it sooner or later. Bring this out a little as well. Do you have a specific feature you guys are looking forward to most about the aquatic update? Hello, Trevor. How's it going, friend? So just gonna move around. And I thought the coral looks quite interesting, but it's another one of those half block kind of deals. I mean, they're not half blocks, but if you look at the screenshots and well, I guess you've probably seen it, or you might have even played the pre-release version. It looks like a whole lot of it feels like a whole lot of non-full blocks, like tiny little plant blocks that don't occupy an entire block, which I think is kind of weird. You know, Minecraft is these cubes. It's made of cubes, and every update seems to introduce more things that aren't cubes. And it's not that I have a huge problem with that. It's just that it's just a bit weird. We're kind of slowly drifting away from Minecraft as kind of a cube-based thing, and more it's cubes and also other stuff, which, I mean, it is fine, it's just strange. Yeah, Minecraft's pretty fun in certain aspects, and if you've never played it before, I would recommend giving Minecraft a go in the survival mode particularly. it's cool and fun to play creative, but it's as a survival mode, it's pretty good. Trevor, my overzealous bot has removed your comment, but you asked what's going on. I can show you a little bit. This is the base of a lake, so I'm just working out the base of a lake here, and I am using some world-edit tools to speed the job up. And then I'm going to flood this, and then hopefully when we get the aquatic update, which should be fairly shortly, it should look quite nice. I'm not sure whether or not how long it'll take me to swap over to that update, but yeah, I think I saw it looked like water was going to be more clear after the aquatic update. So I don't know if that's gonna be a thing, which that could be quite nice if the water is more see-through. I'm not sure if it already is under some shader mods. It probably already is. Maybe my shader mod already does that. No worries. Who knows? So at my office, I had a work experience kid at the office, and in fact he's still here. So I have been kind of hanging out with the kids these days. He says everyone at his school had played Minecraft because it was installed on the laptops. It's kind of interesting that as a kind of an educational tool, Minecraft's kind of interesting. Well, you can play as you like, you know. Who cares? You don't have to. It doesn't matter what people say. Some people play one way, some people play another. Some people like to play mini games. Yes, this is a PC. You can't get these kind of mods on the Xbox, at least at this point. Hi Gex, how are you today, friend? Let's see here. So bring this out a little. Whoa, okay, we'll bring it back a little. That's not what I meant. Let's fill that in. So I'm gonna get some sand in here, I think, after I'm done here. I'm gonna leave some of these big rocky structures because I think they look quite nice, and particularly if we're gonna have an aquatic update. Oh, Trevor, welcome. Nice, good call. This is a nice track, actually. Kind of a little bit kind of subtle. I quite like it. I'm great, thanks. I've got a little bit of uh-oh, what's happened there? Okay, that's weird. It responded, but kind of late. I have swollen gland, I suppose. I'm not sure where I got it from, but yeah, my glands are swollen, so I have kind of toothache almost. Like my gums are kind of painful because of these swollen glands, which is annoying. Can't really eat so much. So Trevor, I'm building, as I say, I'm building a lake. This is the bottom of a lake. Eventually I will flood it, but at the moment I'm just trying to kind of. So I made all this rather quickly, and I'm trying to just make it look a little bit more realistic instead of just having these like sudden shelves. You see here, they're very regular, these regular and orderly shelves, which I don't really want. Looks a bit. Some of the creepy tracks are in the playlist. I'm taking them out when I'm noticing that they are a bit too weird. So some of them are in, some of them are out. Yeah, that's right. So a big lake, but as I say, I want to get the kind of the base first, and then I can flood it with water later. What do you mean by? I actually haven't. What is Subnautica? I don't know what that is. I've heard of it. Is that Oh wait, I think I saw that on the store. It's quite an old game, isn't it? One you play with submarines and stuff. sorry. I did notice it was quite popular, but I don't know. It's not a game I've ever actually played. I saw something with submarines, maybe, and maybe there was some coral in the. Maybe some coral involved. Oh, okay. Oh, I saw an interesting game actually. Up on I think a Greenlight game where you play on a boat. It's like Minecraft if Minecraft was a boat. Maybe that's completely untrue, but you play on a boat and you sail around and you can like upgrade your little raft. I'm presently streaming. We're streaming to 5 platforms. We're going to YouTube. We're going to Mixer. We're going to Twitch. We're also on Smashcast, which we haven't really broken into at all. There's been 1 viewer ever, I think. And there's also VK, which I don't know why I bothered signing up for that. That is more of a social network. It's a Russian social network, but it was an option for me to stream there, so I did it, and then I realised afterwards it was kind of pointless. Uh-oh. Oh no. About to start a cross-platform war here. Oh, thank you, Trevor. I'll see you later, maybe. Yes, gonna take this around a little more. So I might wait until the actual aquatic update comes through before I do any kind of more specific work under here, because we're going to have corals and things. Maybe I want to do that. This is kind of going to be technically, I think, a tidal lake, which means it's connected to the sea. And let's go all the way around again. So this is, we got this big ugly island here. This is going to be where I'm going to build a big castle, is the intention, I think. Fight. No, no, don't fight. Don't fight, guys. Peace and love and stuff. Variants thereof. We're going to leave this section because it's a little bit more interesting. It's not just a horrible pyramid thing. How are we doing now? We are getting through it, actually. We should be able to get this finished. This we might be able to finish the entire of the base of the lake here. I'm not going to go into too much detail because you know, it is going to be the base of a lake, but I do want to kind of make it so it's not rubbish. What has the CEO of YouTube done? Because I'm not really in touch with the whole YouTube scene a lot of the time. I just I don't have too much time on my hands a lot of the time to keep up with the YouTube drama. I know that's a separate thing actually, but what did the CEO of YouTube do recently? I think we can leave this actually. This doesn't look too bad, this section. Yeah, it looks okay. And through here. So what we're going to do, we'll probably leave some of these parts as rocks and some of it as sand, I think. I think we are going to go for a... we're going to go for a tidal lake. So, even though it may not be a real tidal lake, there would be a few... Oh, demonetized everyone. Didn't demonetize me, though. Haha! Yeah, no, I think I remember hearing about that. No, I don't. I'm not sure. People are always complaining that they've been demonetized, so it's nothing necessarily completely new. Okay. That seems a bit, maybe a bit of a bit of an overstatement, perhaps, a bit of hyperbole, but you know, I don't know what's going on YouTube. And this is fine, but let's shallow this off a little. Excuse me. Oh, my tea, forgetting about it. Let's undo that. So yeah, trying to kind of maintain a balance between these kind of cliffs and the shallower areas. Hey, no worries, friend. Have fun at school, or don't. Thanks for stopping by. It's okay. It's still warm. I can still drink it. I swear. And it wasn't on purpose, please. That looks okay. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty cool, I think. I think we got a much nicer base now. So let's go now with some... I'm gonna go for some melt brushes on here, and we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we won't make too much of a mess of it. Okay, so I'm basically just gonna snipe more or less at random here, and the intention is to strike away some of this regularity. So anywhere that I'm seeing kind of regularity, I'm going to strike near there so that we can take away some of it, so that we don't end up like there's a big diagonal. Let's get rid of that. And here again, two big diagonals. So let's just reduce them with a melt brush a little bit. So that's my intention with this brush, and it should work, I think. We can also use, as need be, the additive melt brush, which may be better in this situation. So there, for example, get rid of that. Get rid of you. Oh, actually, let's bring that out a little. Yeah, breaks that up a little. And through here. Nice. You don't seem to have to go to school ever, though, Gex. Is that... what's going on with that? You said you were on holiday, is that right? And grab a little here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit... whoa. Here. Thanks, Jaden. I'm not sure if you're being ironic or not. So I'm going to bring this through here. Or you just don't go to school. Bring this through here a little, and I'm going to bulk out here too, because this is a big diagonal. And let's try and maintain this a little, but we'll use a melt brush on it. There and there, just to break it up a little. Yeah, that's cool. That works. And we'll bulk through here a little. Is there a reason? How come you don't go to school? Through here, let's push that back a little. What time is it now? Goodness. You people should sleep. Oh, you do go to school? Oh, sorry. I was sure you said I don't go to school. Nutter. Don't you have work to go to? Work or school or something? Push back through here a little. Just a little here. And bring out this. And through here. Yeah. It starts to look, yeah, a lot better. I mean, what we are getting is a little bit of wibbly wobbly, which is a bit of a concern. But it is going to be under the sea, so we can not worry about that too much, I think. Under the sea. Oh goodness, when I was in Korea teaching English, the kids were just, we're talking about like 3-4-year-old kids who can't speak any English, but they would, this one is going to be an island, or maybe it will be a peninsula where I'm going to have a town, or I think a castle in the middle. And that's pretty much all I have planned. This is going to be the main viewpoint, so this is going to be, gosh, it's such a long way. This is going to be kind of where we're basing the stream on, basically. Stream? The build. This is where the build is going to be. Oh, I think I shot something. Let's undo that. The build is going to be viewed from. We can't see the whole thing now, but that's only because of the view distance. Fritoy, hello. How are you today, friend? I'm going to keep pushing through here. Just break up this area a little. I already built a big Wizard Tower of Doom, and it didn't come out quite so how I was hoping. So I'm going to go. It's going to be a. I think it's going to be a castle. I think we're going to go for. Yeah, just fine. Thank you. As always, I do my stream just before I go to work in the morning. So yeah, just having a bit of a chill before I go to the office, essentially. As I say, I've got. I'm looking after a work experience person, I suppose a school kid on work experience. So that's kind of interesting. Totally changes my day up. Normally, I'm a software engineer, so normally I don't really deal with people pretty much at all. In fact, some days I just get in, put my headphones in, and I work all day, and I don't say a word to anybody, and then I leave at the end of the day. But obviously, if I'm looking after a 16-year-old guy who doesn't really know anything, I've got to basically just be, I don't want to say babysitting, but you know, babysitting in terms of the video game term. Like, he needs a lot of help. In fact, he doesn't really know much, I suppose, about this kind of stuff, but you wouldn't at that age, so it's quite different. So I got 1 week of that, so it's going to be work experience for me as well as him. And it takes me right back to my days in Korea with teaching the kids. Oh, I was going to say, actually, I was speaking of Korea, I was about to say about these 5-year-old kids in Korea. They're like 3, 4, 5-year-old, can't speak any English, but they do know. If you say under the sea, they will go nuts for it, and they're just this weird like parroting of under the sea. Really, really strange. It's a good guess, Prince Sam, but it is not the moon. In fact, it does look like the moon, doesn't it? That's a good call, actually. This could easily be the moon. It is not the moon, though. The intention is that this will be the bottom of a lake, which I guess is a good sign, because I think the moon kind of looks like the bottom of a lake. So we're gonna, yeah, basically do this, and then hopefully when we get the aquatic update, which I don't know if we'll be able to run it on the server or on the stream or not, but if we can, hopefully when we get it, we can kind of upgrade this area, and we can have kind of a nice little area underwater. I'm going to leave this little cliff here. There's no trees here. No one, to be fair, if you haven't seen the previous streams, in fact, why don't we have a fly around? Let's have a fly around just because I can, and because we're using the shaders, so you guys probably haven't seen this with the shaders yet. Oh goodness, it's going to load slow, isn't it? So, here's what we built last week. Last week's build was through here. So let's just take a quick look at this with the shaders on. It looks really nice, to be honest. The shaders really do add a lot. Oh, there was, I should mention actually, there was a horrible accident. Good morning, Godzilla. There was a horrible accident when I copied it back from the end. It put these randomly generated ore blocks in everything. So we have to put up with the fact that now everything has been whacked with these randomly generated ore blocks, and it looks a bit weird. But it also looks kind of cool, so I think I'm going to leave it. So yes, here is the ravine that I was working on, the canyon. If we come through here, we have a different view of that. Over here we have the moor, which looks a lot nicer, I think, with the shading, because we get this cool shadow cast all over it. This tree looks a lot cooler with the shaders. In fact, everything looks a lot cooler with shaders, let's be honest. But again, we have parts of it have been transformed into ores, which is a little bit annoying, but it's okay. This looks way cooler with the shaders, like much better. This is kind of what I had in mind, this kind of shady forest. In fact, down here we get really kind of what I was looking for, which is this shady forest. Hello, slime. So, still popping in a little bit, unfortunately. It just takes so long to load Minecraft. Why is that here? Whoops. Okay, not that. Teach me to try and break some stuff. Uh-oh. Something weird is happening. I'll just punch these blocks, because I don't want to keep on doing. Anyway. So, whoops. So this is nice as well. We come through this shady area and we get the a half-loaded scene. Beautiful. So we'll just give this a moment to pop in. Oh, look at that! Actually, look at the shade. Look at the water. Look at the base of the water. It's so beautiful. The dirt through the water looks great. So I'm just going to try and speed the process up here by flying around and just getting close to the chunks, because that seems to be the only way to get it to load them. So here we go. Okay, it is not working super well, but we are getting there. Big hole in the middle. Yeah, I imagine my laptop is probably struggling a little bit to do this, but it does have a good graphics card, and I can't use it normally. Normally I'm not even using the graphics card because of the way... because of the vagaries of streaming and the technology. It still hasn't loaded. There's a nice kind of top to it. It all looks kind of like this all the way around. But whatever, we'll leave it for now. So we're going to come through here, and that's weird. Only half the blocks are loaded. I swear down that's not what that tree looks like. Maybe it is what that tree looks like. Oh no, I hope it hasn't It's rotting away, isn't it? Oh, bomb. Yeah, it's rotting away before our eyes. Oh dear. That's really bad, actually. I need to fly away real quick, and I need to disable leaf decay before we lose anything else. So excuse me for one moment while I figure out how to disable leaf decay. Yeah, that's really annoying. Hopefully the big trees haven't been affected by that. Boom. How to stop leaves from decaying? Okay. Oh dear. I see. So what's happened is that they haven't been correctly updated. So let's let me just quickly try replace everything, because I think otherwise all my trees are going to vanish, which I certainly don't want. So let me just do a full-on world edit here, and just zoom through before all my trees are gone forever. And zoom over here and down the other side, and so I'm just gonna put a big zone around this. Come over here, right, so I do +2, +2, there we go, and I do replace, so it's 18 something, is it? Leaf, block, replace 18.0, 18.8, replace 18.0, 18.8, and hopefully that works. Let's find out. What's going on here? So that replaced 35,000 blocks. So hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we haven't lost too much. This is damn it, that's really upsetting. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Those are relatively easy to repair. It's fine. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay. Let's continue our exploration here. So here we have Mushroom Land, which looks pretty cool with the shaders. Get this really cool spore cloud. Unfortunately, the shaders with the glass don't really work so well, because a lot of the time, if there's anything behind them, they just turn black. So like here, it's just kind of black, which is kind of, it just kind of sucks, to be honest. But yeah, so we have little Mushroom Land here. Obviously still needs more work to complete it. Looks nice though, the shaders. And then we have the area we were working on 2 weeks ago. It's through here. And there we have it. Yes. Yeah, nice. It's raining. It's not supposed to be able to rain. Okay, that's another game rule I need to update apparently, since I changed worlds. Let me see how I can do that. Game rule downfall. I mean, this is kind of appropriate for this particular area. Okay, so let's have a quick look around. Oh, this looks cool in the rain, actually, doesn't it? Oh. Looks more like a lava lake, though, which isn't really what it's supposed to look like, but that's okay. Game rule do downfall false. Toggle downfall. Okay, so that should never rain again now, hopefully. Anyway, time for me to fly all the way back. Fly all the way back, and we've learnt a couple things about this new world that I've made, and hopefully saved some of our builds from decaying. But let's fly back over to where we were here and continue with what I was doing, which was to make the base of the lake. Yes, okay. So we were getting there anyway. In fact, oh, it's cold. Sometimes. I have to have water instead. Alrighty. So let's go for a little bit more kind of up the sides now. In fact, let's do just kind of methodically around the sides and just finish this off. Let me see if I can remember my tools. Wood tool for grow, stone for shrink. And then we also have the voxel sniper tools as well. Nice, nice. And out here a little. Alright, yeah, I was going to kind of try to go kind of up and down a little bit. So let's just bulk out here a little so that we don't end up... This is the ugliest thing. When we get this kind of pyramiding effect, it's just so ugly, I hate it. I do not want it. So just gonna do my best to avoid this horrible diagonal pyramiding stuff. It's a sure sign of that's a cool thing, but it has to die. It's a sure sign of kind of inexperienced user of, or not even necessarily inexperienced, lazy user of World Edit Voxel Sniper. These lots and lots of diagonals. It happens when you use the smooth brush clumsily, essentially, and it just creates a weird. Like polygons, I suppose. Polygons, I suppose, of blocks. They're always either straight or diagonal this way. Goes through here. Boom, boom. Yes. Cool. And I'm going to try and maintain this as a bit of a cliff. So using careful tool, use of the melt brush here, I can kind of, yeah, make these more cliff-like. Which is kind of what I want. That can stay, it's kind of an interesting shape. We get kind of an interesting shape here as well. I can also stay. I should be doing the up and down. So this is going to be the actual shore here, so this I should be a little bit careful about. So let's have a little go with laying out how the shore's going to look. Don't want big holes in it. I want it to be like a nice sloping beach, so that it looks kind of just... You know how you might idly imagine a sloping beach to look, I suppose. Not really typically how lakes actually look. Lakes because they don't have much waves in them, they don't really erode very much, and so you end up with or deposit, I suppose. So while the sea is nice and sloping, lakes are extremely steep. It's like a valley almost that's flooded, a flooded valley frequently, whereas the sea is constantly eroding and depositing sand, and it makes a lot shallower. So you get a nice sandy beach instead of a very sudden, sharp drop deep into the water. We call it, I think it's called shelving. When a lake or when water suddenly just, you can't see it, it's like this, and then suddenly it's deep. Call it shelving, shelves away, which is scary. I almost drowned a couple times as a kid, and I had a fear of dark water for a long time. Scary stuff. Canals used to really scare me, but then again I also used to go for kayaking, and kayaking is done on canals. But then I nearly drowned doing that as well, now that I think about it. So I just have bad experiences with water generally. Maybe building this huge, terrifying... No, actually I suppose it's not too terrifying. It's a nice safe lake is kind of therapy. I'm just gonna try and steepen this a little bit. So again, let's see, we're getting these diagonals forming. So I'm going to try break that a little. Whoops. Okay. Well, let's do this. Looks like a cylinder, but that's fine. No one's gonna look too close at this. So I don't need to obsess over this. Just kind of going through it nice and quick. Yeah, this looks fine. Push back a little at the top again. So I think this layer is going to be the first sand layer maybe, and this one might also be a sand layer, and then we have water, I think. Although I don't know. I don't know exactly. I haven't got a very hard and fast plan for this. Which for a build this size might be a mistake, arguably. So, let's speed this up a little, to be honest. I can go a little bit quicker than I am doing. Apparently not, because I make mistakes like that. Okay. Yeah, that looks alright. That's not the right brush. Okay. Bulk out here a little. End up with this weird spherical hole. Cylindrical. What is the term there? Two cylinders, two circles joining. We have a little hole in the middle. It's fine. Nice. And I guess we should fill that in. We shouldn't just leave that. And let's take melt brush in here. Let's melt this outwards actually, see what happens. You want to dab? You want me to dab? I'm not sure I'm willing to dab actually. I think I have enough integrity to not dab. I've decided I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, Jaden. I'm not gonna dab. Hi, One Rainbow. How are you today, friend? Through here. What was I talking about just now? Something about, I can't remember. Two circles or something. Let's just check down here, make sure we've got the whole level here looking good. I think this can pass. I think we're okay. Let's melt that away a little. And maybe in there a little. And through here. Melt that back. just going to try take out the cliff, the diagonal there and there. So we're going to leave the cliff, but yes, okay. Building out a little. Whoops, wrong tool. I should really have put stone on the stone tool. That's what I usually do, actually. Usually I'm putting stone on the stone sword, air on the iron sword, and here we've got kind of the reverse of that. Not quite, but... Alrighty, let's push back here a little. So after we've done it with this section, I think the next thing we'll be doing is that back wall that you can see there. So that's going to take, have to slope it down. And it's going to be a huge forest here. So loads and loads of dark oak trees is what we're going to put on this side. And as I say, it's very large. It's 32 blocks across, 32 chunks across. So it's 500 or so blocks across, which is a long way. But I wanted to do a kind of a full-size, almost realistic scale. I mean, I know 500 meters is still not realistic for a valley. I suppose it kind of is, actually. It's not too unrealistic for a valley. A 500 meter valley. So, whoops, that's the wrong tool. Yeah, 500 meter valley is what we might be going for. Well, I mean, it is what we're going for. But now that I think about it, I was like, oh, that's quite big. And I'm like, wait a second, 500 meters, like for a castle, that would be a small castle if it was like 500 meters across. So Minecraft has a, considering that it's so low resolution, it's kind of funny that we build such small builds, generally speaking. Yes, nice. What does that even mean? So keep moving through here. And we're just going to keep moving around, generally trying to keep it up and down because we are recording a time lapse here, so it will add to the effect if it's kind of nice and orderly. And I'm going to keep moving through. Oops. Oh, that's not good. Quiet, you. Oops. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to keep as I say, working up and down. Nice stripes, nice orderly stripes. As I say, when it comes to time lapses, these nice kind of orderly patterns look really great. So when you're building them, it doesn't seem that orderly, but if you keep kind of focused on following the pattern, then what you end up with is quite a nice kind of soothing result, I suppose. Yeah, what's up, Gex? You mean the weekend? Or oh, you mean when I wasn't on YouTube for 5 years? All kinds of things, really. I mean, first of all, I finished my degree, So I was studying physics. It's kind of a tough degree. So I finished that, which was good. Next, what happened then? I started working. I got bored and I quit. And then I went traveling. So I went through Europe, through New Zealand. That was fun. That was awesome. I went to South Korea, which was great. Why did I say great? I mean, it was great in some ways. The whole trip was great. I'm not sure that South Korea was the best part, actually. In fact, I really didn't like it. It was really upsetting, in fact, in a lot of ways. Just not knowing anybody. It was real hard, not knowing anybody who could even speak the language, really. Difficult. So the only people I really knew who could speak the language were my girlfriend and my co-workers, who were not very good at English. So that was difficult, to say the least, really. And so I didn't really like that. But then I ended up back in the UK again, and back to work. And I thought I would give this streaming lark a go, because I hadn't tried streaming before, really. And turned out it's kind of fun. Reunion Island is a long way. I mean, maybe one day I will make a trip over that way. So I haven't really been through Asia much. So I've been mostly in, well, I've been through Europe, and I've been, as I say, New Zealand and South Korea, but I didn't really go anywhere else in Asia. So I haven't really traveled very much, even though, I mean, it's kind of around the world, sort of. I didn't actually travel fully around the world, which is a shame. I almost should have done that, but I would like to check out more of Asia. I'm concerned that I think my girlfriend is a little bit hesitant about going to Asia, because she prefers to be on the safer side, I think. Why is it raining? Damn it. That's going to ruin the time lapse. Does he do downfall? Let me just real quick check and make sure that it's not going to rain again, because I do not want it to rain. Oh, do weather cycle. Okay. Let me just set that. Toggle do weather cycle false. Oh, game rule. Goodness, I'm having some difficulties doing this. Okay. Come on. There we go. Turkey's cool though. Whereabouts did you go in Turkey? I haven't been there, but I've heard it can be like really kind of exciting. It's all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, I also heard that can be a little bit hair-raising, because they tend to see foreigners as kind of walking money bags a little bit. So that was like turning me off a little bit from heading over to Turkey. Let's bring this out a little bit more. Nice and cheap is Turkey though. That's a big thing about it, isn't it? You can kind of live like a king. Probably my favourite place that I went actually might have been maybe Prague in Czech Republic, isn't it? Sorry, is it Czechia now? It's called. I don't know, whatever it's called. I yeah, I really liked Czech Republic. Well, I really liked Prague because it's just so cheap and kind of nice as well. Like they had most of the stuff that we have here in Britain just cheap. Yeah, so Czech Republic was pretty great. I thought Denmark was really nice. The bikes were kind of scary, actually. Everyone was like, yeah, let's go on the bikes. Let's go for a ride. I'm like, on the bike, I'm like, just too like, organized into so many bikes. Like, I was kind of... Yeah, just a bit... I was terrified I was going to do something wrong and get, like, hit or something. Because they don't take any prisoners on the bikes in Copenhagen. It's, It's a real kind of shock, culture shock even, the fact that there's just so much just bike culture, I suppose, bike acceptance, really. You know, bike lanes everywhere, bikes are more popular than cars. Really, really weird to see it, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. Christiania was fun. Didn't buy any drugs though, because I'm good and nice and a good human being who doesn't buy drugs and support the drug dealers. Now it sounds like I'm being ironic, but I didn't buy any drugs. But it was nice to see Christiania, actually. Quite different to what I was expecting. Gosh. So, take a little bit off the edge here. It's taken a lot longer than I was anticipating. It's definitely not going to be... I'm not able to complete the upper levels here. So they say. I just say I didn't make any efforts to inquire about any kind of drugs, so I don't really know too much myself. Just leave that, actually. Bother with that. In fact, we can use this. We'll push out a little bit here. Gonna pull through here. Trying not to make a big mess of it, as I just have done. So this is nothing at the moment, but this can maybe mark for later that we're going to have kind of beach section here, like a slightly larger beach. Maybe we could have a river coming in here. I'm not sure. Bulk out here a little. Yeah, I thought probably the most interesting thing about Christiania, as opposed to Copenhagen, obviously not as well. You know, the money that was spent on what was going on there, like the general town, I suppose, village, whatever, the community, obviously didn't have the same level of money being spent on it, but what it did have was this kind of level of care lavished on it that you just don't see in a normal town. You just don't, you don't get, you know, every inch square inch looked like it had been kind of considered, whereas in towns, quite often what you get, maybe that's not true, but to a larger extent, a lot of the spaces have been kind of looked after and considered in a way that you don't really get in a town. Quite often in a town, like say my office, we're a massive multi-million-dollar company, like hundreds of millions of dollars our company's worth, and you walk out of our office and you're into like a back street where there's like chewing gum on the pavements and everything is dirty. It's really weird to see, like, there's no ownership of that. Nobody's taking ownership or standing up for just that little bit of space just kind of outside, and I think that's kind of a major difference to the kind of attitude in Christiania. There's a lot more, what's the word? I suppose they have there's more of an idea of collective responsibility, and there's no, well, that space isn't anything to do with me, so I don't care. Yeah, so I heard from his song. Lucas Graham, the most famousest of all Danes, unfortunately. Do you like Lucas Graham? One day you can come to England, probably. Actually, maybe not with Brexit. But no, it's not particularly expensive to get here. I'm sure once you are older and you have a job, you'll be able to come here, no worries. You love him? Okay. He's a bit of a... I don't know, some people like his one song that he had here, but I mostly just kind of mock it, so... I like to just be, once I was 20 years old, my daddy told me, go stream some Minecraft, and you'll be lonely, etc. It's just got unlimited kind of meme potential to just make fun of, which, Interesting. What is the language like in Reunion then? I mean, I know they speak French. Is there like a specific language? Reunion language? Let's take out a little bit here. Through here. Whoops. Undo that. Oh, it's nearly time for me to head off, actually. Kronborg. No. What's that? Kronenberg? No. I haven't seen... when I was in Copenhagen, I didn't really see much. I don't think what I did see. I saw Christiania. I wasn't there for very long, actually. I was just there for a couple days. Visiting a friend and meeting my girlfriend. That's where we started our journey across Europe. So, I mean, apart from Christiania, I'm trying to remember what else we did. We went and saw the harbour, I think. The Little Mermaid, maybe? Oh, whoops. Okay. Well, I guess since I started doing this, let's bulk this out and make this more like a cliff. Little cliff edge. We still have a lot of work to go on here. I just, I would kind of like to get the water in, and then we can kind of work upwards. Just because on the time lapse, it's going to look nice if we have the water on. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do the entire thing at once and then kind of work it through. Oh yeah, I probably will end up back in Copenhagen at some point, or Denmark, I should say. We were actually planning on flying out there in a couple of weeks' time, but I'm not sure that we're not going to do that anymore. I think we're going straight to Stockholm. Yeah, what is Creole? Because I mean that word means something else other than a language. Yeah, I think Creole has quite a lot of meanings as a word. Is that some kind of special... Is it a language? Well, I guess it must be a language, right? Can you explain what Creole is? Actually, I'm gonna head off pretty soon, so once I get finished on this side, I'm gonna bounce, because I need to do a couple of things before I head off to the office. Well, we did half of it. Half the lake is done, so we just have to do the other half tomorrow. Wow, that is a mess of a language. Is that? That looks like Dutch and French. Alrighty. Anyway, let's just have a. Well, I guess there's not much to see really. It does still look like the moon. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. When I will continue on this side. So thank you, and bye-bye. Bye.